Hey, it's been a minute since I last did this. Hope the holidays have been going well for everyone. Did you play the Cayo Perico heist yet? I still haven't, but I read a lot about it from people who have, and I've noticed that there's varying degrees of both excitement and some disdain for the new update. The Caribbean Island edition is cool, but you can't explore it in free roam. The heist itself is fun, and they added a really cool character to replace Lester, thank God, but the setup is supposedly really long and tedious. It's nice that they gave us 250 new songs, but then it's still mostly just extra nightclub music, with the exception of Cult FM. Now, I'm in no place to give a full opinion on this yet, but I would like to give you my thoughts on this news, and I'd like to hear what you all think of this too. A follower of mine sent me a Game Informer article, which is based on an interview that Rockstar's Scott Butchard and Tarek Hamad recently gave with GQ, where they talked about the update as well as what might be next for GTA Online. They've acknowledged that a lot of people who don't play the game with groups of people have felt kind of overlooked, and now they're promising that the upcoming content for the game will have a single-player element to it. Butchard said, "It's something that's been on our minds for quite some time, and the community has been vocal about it. It's something we're keen to carry forward. We want to respect teams and players who want to play co-op, but at the same time still allow solo players to still get just as valid an experience out of it. There are perks to both. If you go in there by yourself, you're taking 100% of the cut, and it's a lot easier to do stealth and plan when you're not on comms. With multiple players, you can split up and do multiple things at once. And you know what? I am glad he said it's a lot easier to do stealth and plan stuff out when you're on your own in this game instead of having to communicate with others, particularly with randoms. If I recall, this is why they added this finger-pointing motion. I like to call it the objection button, but it's supposed to be so that you can point stuff out and try to get your point across if someone doesn't have a mic. It could be a little awkward to use though, and I get the impression that almost no one actually uses this. I mean, if you have a microphone and the person on the other end can understand what you're saying, then why bother pointing? And if nobody has a mic, then, good luck. It can get so bad with random people that sometimes you probably just think, you know what, I could just do this by myself and it would be a hell of a lot easier. And apparently, that's what Rockstar are planning on doing with GTA Online moving forward, where you can just play a heist on your own without having to worry about teammates that you don't know who might mess things up. Although I don't think that they're doing this just to make things easier for players who are planning on going solo. How long have people been asking for single-player DLC again? Almost since the game came out, and by the way, we're going to be in 2021 pretty soon, meaning that this game is going to be almost 8 years old. Single-player DLC was mentioned as coming soon, but then it just wound up not happening. Online is way too popular, and from a business perspective, I can totally see why they did what they did. When GTA Online is raking in this much cash for the company, they'd be insane to not keep it up. And while GTA 4's single-player DLC was freaking amazing, it sold comparatively poorly. You could argue that this is because it was a 360 exclusive at launch and didn't come to the PS3 and PC until several months after. But when you look at the numbers, they probably thought, well, if it's easier to make these updates for online and sell shark cards, and online is so popular that it's causing the base game to still sell incredibly well, then why are we going to do new episodes for Los Santos for single player? Those might not sell as well because episodes from Liberty City didn't sell that well. So I almost think that this is like a compromise in a way from Rockstar. We all know that GTA Online is just not going to go away, even when GTA 6 eventually does happen, if it happens, because I actually know some people who think that it may not happen, but I think it will. But if it does happen, they're gonna have to find some way to continue it since, at this point, online is a gaming behemoth. But now, you don't have to play it like an online game if you don't want to. Of course, you're still stuck to making sure that you have a constant online connection, and you're still stuck with what's basically a very quiet, customizable NPC to play as, but you no longer need to get on and play with a ton of people if you don't want to. So what do you think about this? Do you think that this is a good thing for the future of GTA Online if we can at least do some more stuff solo and not have to worry about other random players possibly messing things up? I also wonder if they'll somehow find a way to merge single-player and multiplayer like this in the future. Think about this, like GTA 6 for instance, they could release that, and then they could bring back multiple protagonists, and friends can then jump in and take on the role of another character while you're either out exploring or while you're doing missions, and if you need some help, they can help you out. But that's just a thought. It doesn't necessarily mean that they might actually do this, but I still feel like the future of this franchise is going to be mostly online focused. As I said before, let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.